both of you guys are from Phoenix. You know where I'm going with this. This has been something that has transpired since we last spoke. So the latest with the NBA announcing Suns owner Robert Sarver being suspended for 1 year, fined $10 million for using the N-word. In case you are not a regular on our podcast, getting caught up, using the N-word at least 5 times when recounting the statements of others, and was also involved in instances of inequitable conduct toward female employees, including sex-related comments and inappropriate comments on employees' appearances. Sarver has recently announced he's beginning the process of selling both the Suns and Mercury. Channing.
Well, yeah. Well, I played there 5 years, so I'll say this.
You also have that insight.
Yeah, a little bit. And I'm going to say this. Him and I feel like I get along with 99% of all people. Him and I have had a rocky relationship at times. Right? And so we'll leave that, because some stuff is behind closed doors, some stuff isn't. But I'm also not trying to punch somebody while they're down. To me, Phoenix is a top 5 place to play. When I was playing there, Phoenix was 3rd all-time in wins in the history of the NBA. So it's not like it's a place where they do a lot of rebuilding. When players and free agents don't go there because of the owner, especially to a place like Phoenix, which is absolutely perfect.
82 degrees all season long.
Screams issues. Screams issues. You can't get big-time free agents to go to Phoenix, Arizona, and play for the Suns?
In the winter?
In the Western Conference?
In the winter?
What? Come on.
It's the greatest
Come
place.
on.
Such like,
but but it's like, again, there's other places. We're not going to even get into that.
It's one of the best places to play by far.
By far. How do guys go to, no offense to Indiana or some of these other places that aren't as quote unquote sexy, but they're not going to Phoenix? And it's consensus because of the owner. Look, again, there's another team in the Eastern Conference where no big free agents want to go because of the owner. There's no consistency. The culture of the organization sometimes is fuzzy. Do they pay players? Right? I think DeAndre Ayton's people came out and said the only reason he didn't get that money from the beginning was that up top said, no, you're not worth it. I've seen that in my time while I was there with Amari, with myself, with other players that were supposed to be there based on the culture. I know a lot of people in Phoenix who worked for the Suns who left and was visibly upset about leaving because of the workplace culture. And a lot of them were women, right? Mothers, stuff like that. So all those stories, I've heard those stories, and I'm glad that they came out. Hopefully the next person that takes the Suns on, whoever that is, has a healthy respect for the history of the Suns, the history of like what the Suns do for Phoenix, and how good can this team get if you're getting free agents now? Like, it's going to be bananas.
Well, that's the way it's always been.
Really quick, Channing, thank you for sharing that. I just had the chills in the most awful way from a sense of, I have 2 questions for you.
Yeah.
Are you surprised that it took this long, given what you...
Fuck yes. Fuck yes.
Really?
Yeah. So
imagine Amin stories.
Have you ever heard
Amin
talk? Yeah. Have you ever heard Amin Elissan talk about the organization and some of that stuff? Amin picked me up in a van to go to the Suns. So all those Amin stories are Channing stories. And I was just like, man, I'm just trying to keep it in the league. It were just things that didn't make sense that after going to, Cleveland, after going to other places, you realize, oh shit, that was like, he wasn't supposed to be doing that. He wasn't supposed to be as active as he was, and not a way that helps us, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
There were just things that you were just like, is this like, we were looking around like, is this the Bad News Bears? Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah, Well, and don't forget, before
sad.
this last little stretch here, they had been dog shit. they had been. Like, yeah, we can point to the bubble, and you can point to all of that stuff, and they were 8-0 in the bubble, but like Chris Paul saved their franchise. Like, not saying that this team might have been the 8th seed, 7th seed, they would have been fine, but Chris Paul basically is what took them to that next level.
Yeah.
But they hadn't made the postseason since Steve Nash. Steve Nash been
since
gone.
2010.
Shout out Channing Frye. But that just shows you and this is where Phoenix is like a random place. To Channing's point, they had the third most wins when he was there in NBA, behind Lakers and Celtics, I believe.
Yep.
Right? Because they just had a very consistent, people forget, it was like Paul Westphal, and then you had Charles Barkley and Kevin Johnson and Tom Chambers, then Steve Nash, then Amar, Jason Kidd. Yeah. Like, they had guys roaming through there, Antonio McDyess, Rex Chapman. They had guys rolling through there for 25 straight years and were winning. Then it changed. And once when he bought the team, I forgot, in 2004, it was right around the time, like Steve Nash and these guys came in, that run. Once that era was over, the real indication for a great franchise is how they rebuild back up, right? The Phoenix Suns historically had always rebuilt back up. They went Charles Barkley era, then they went Jason Kidd era, then they got to the Amari, Sean Marion, Steve Nash era that took them till 2010 basically. Then they couldn't do it again. Like, in a place that historically was the third most wins in NBA history, hadn't made the postseason in 10 years. If that would have happened for the Lakers, or if that would have happened for the Celtics, what would have happened? All hell would break loose. Look, no disrespect, Knicks fans, I'm not, but you've seen the how things have been, just all hell have been breaking loose in with the Knicks. Phoenix is just like a smaller market team from that space of like, it doesn't get that much media attention as the like top four. But like, you could see that's a pretty trash situation for it to be. Not since 2010. They had some stretch. They took a gamble on getting Chris Paul, and it turned around their franchise. This was more lucky, in my opinion, than it was by design. Mikal Bridges, the development of Devin Booker, all of that stuff was great. And then they had a little bit of luck. But like, consistently over 30 years, the Suns were a much better run team. And that's not me saying it. That's the stats. That's the numbers. That's everything.
Think about this. Sorry. I'll say this. When I was there, Steve Kerr and David Griffin was our GM and assistant GM, right? They're doing pretty damn well right now. We were doing pretty damn well. Both of them left that organization not because of the team, not because of all this stuff, but because of what I understood as an issue with the direction of and people hovering over top of them and not allowing them to do their job. David Griffin said, Channing, wherever you go, I'm going to try to come get you. Griff when I signed with Orlando, Griff was in Cleveland. Griffin's like, Channing, I'm going to
try to get you in then, and he tried to get you then, and then traded for you.
Then traded for me a year and a half later. Steve Kerr, you've seen his mind. He had that same mind back then of just being able to talk to people, engage them, and you see what he's done with Golden State. You see what the president of Golden State, who used to work for the Suns, was doing. Everyone that has left the Suns during that era, for the most part, has been extremely successful outside of that when they are encouraged and they have a great workplace environment. It's hard to do your job when other people think they could do your job for you. It's like, hey, clean that up. No, I got it. You should do it like this. You can't operate or function like that. Also, it doesn't feel good as a player when you dive into the culture of Arizona, into being a Sun. You take pride wearing the jersey. You do well, and obviously you want to get paid for that. And then all of a sudden, you're getting skimped when it comes to paying you, right? Like, it doesn't feel good when you're like, man, I love Arizona. I want to stay here. And somebody thinks you got to take a pay cut. You're like, wait, what?
The market's not saying I need to take a pay cut.
Right.
Just you are
just
saying
want market value. And here's a true story, and I'll tell you this. After my heart issue, we played. They tried to blow up the team. That was the year we won 48 games. 48 games. We missed the playoffs by one game for a rebuilding team. That was Goran Dragic, was second team All-NBA. Eric Bledsoe was balling. Miles Plumlee was good. Both Morris twins, PJ Tucker. We had a really good team. With
Y'all
Jeff
were a gritty team.
It was great. The chemistry, that was one of my the funnest teams to play on. Comes the contract. I said, hey, I know I could get X over here. Just give me the market value. They went and were like, no, you're not worth this. We're going to give you not even half of what I was asking for. And I was like, come on, y'all. Like, come on. I just want to be here. I don't need to start. I just want to win. I love playing for Jeff. I love my teammates. They're young. We could get this going again. Nope. They went and signed Isaiah Thomas, right, for that money that they were going to get that I asked for. And shout out IT. But they had 3 guards right after Goran Dragic.
And then traded IT to Boston, and then IT goes on to be all NBA.
Yes.
How many examples do you want of them not knowing what the fuck they're doing? Like then Isaiah went on to be fucking great.
And it was, and obviously there's negotiation or could have been other things in play. But when a guy comes back, you do well on a team. And I wasn't saying, I wasn't like, hey, pay me extra because of this, and this. I was like, just give me the market value. I went and got 32 from Orlando, right, to help rebuild that team. And
which is really probably like 34 because you're not paying.
Oh, it was nice. The taxes were different.
Yeah.
I was asking for like 22, 24. I wasn't even asking for that much. I was like, just keep me paying what you're paying me now. Like, that's it. And I'm ready to grow.
Simple. It's really fucking
very simple. Yeah. And I was just like, you know what? It hurt. That hurt. I wanted to stay.
Yeah, of course. With the most consideration and respect for those that endured so much over those 18 seasons. Mm-hmm. Wow. Having listened to the both of you and obviously following along as this situation revealed itself, it's obviously, Rich, you said it on ESPN. Why is everyone so sad and down? This is a great freaking thing that's happening.
Yeah, let's go.
Him being out, selling the team, etc. So all the eyes are on now who goes into that position. Who is that next owner, right? So Shaq said he would join Amazon's founder, Jeff Bezos' group, to bid on buying the Suns. Would Shaq and Bezos be good for the league?
Yes. Bezos
if they have some people from Arizona.
Heyo.
Just some consultants. We'll just get in there as consultants. But look, everybody, I got so many texts. So many people want to be a part of this. Like they take so much pride in being a son. And we just want the rest of the league to embrace that. I think Bezos and Shaq would be great. I think they have great business minds. And I think they're looking at Ballmer, who was like, just spend a little money. The Clippers are going to be nice this year. They've slowly built. They put the right people together. And they don't skimp on the players.
You want
give themselves an
type of
opportunity
money.
To be different.
You want that type of money. Like if Jeff Bezos loses $100 million, but he wins a championship, he does not care. That's what he. When I say lose $100 million, people understand that. That means like instead of making $150 million profit, he only made $50 million profit. He's not like writing a check to own the Suns. That just their portion of income changes if they go into the tax. Like the Golden State Warriors, they're having to pay boatloads of taxes. They're not going broke. You just got to win if you're gonna pay those taxes. That's all. Yeah, got to win.
So if someone approached you guys would be all in.
No. Ooh, all in. Just depends on how many zeros. I got about 3 zeros on that. Maybe 4. Maybe 4. Consultant. Sweat equity.